Welcome back to Keystone and more. It's Sunday, time for another podcast with Nick. Football is happening right now. Patriots and Chiefs are kicking off in just about a minute or so. Saints and Rams, we'll just talk about that. Who punched their ticket into the Super Bowl. We can talk about some NHL type stuff. Pitchers and catchers are going to report in about a couple days, about like maybe what is it? Probably like 25
Two
days or
or three
so.
weeks, two or
Two,
three
three
weeks
weeks,
probably.
somewhere around there, 21 days. And we'll have some other stuff that we'll talk about that we'll make up as we go along. Nick, where should we start?
I actually want to start off the NHL because I have the standings pulled up here and everything. So I just want to cover the standings real quick. In the Atlantic Division, in first place with 49 games played, 7-3 in their last 10. The Tampa Bay Lightning with 76 points. In second place, 47 games played, 60 points, 4-6 in their last 10. The Maple Leafs. Third place, 49 games played, 59 points, 6-3-1 in their last 10. The Bruins. Fourth place, 50 games played, 59 points, 6-4 in their last 10. The Canadiens. Fifth place, 48 games, 54 points, 3-6-1 in their last 10. The Sabres. Sixth place, 47 games, 46 points, 3-5-2 in their last 10 is the Panthers. In seventh place, with 49 points, 49 games, 43 points, 4-5-1 their last 10 is Ottawa. And last place in the Atlantic Division with 49 games played, 43 points, and 3-6-1 their last 10 is Detroit. Then over in the Metro, the other division in the Eastern Conference, in first place with 48 games played and 62 points, 8-2 in their last 10, the New York Islanders, or the Islanders, however you want to say it. Is this crazy? In second place, this is our division right here, the two Pennsylvania teams in this division. In second place with 48 games played and 59 points, 6-4 in their last 10 to the Columbus Blue Jackets. In third place, 48 games played, 59 points, and 3-5-2 in their last 10 are the Capitals. In fourth place, in 48 games, 58 points, 6-4-0 in their last 10 to the Penguins. Fifth place, 47 games played, 49 points, 7-3-0 in their last 10 is the Hurricanes. In sixth place, 48 games, 49 points, and 4-6 in their last 10 is the Rangers. In seventh place with 48 games, 44 points, and 4-5-1 in their last 10 games, and on a 3-game winning streak, the Philadelphia Flyers. And in eighth place with 48 points and 48 games, 43 points, 3-7-0 in their last 10 are the New Jersey Devils. Then in the Central, I'm going to stop naming games because it's getting confusing because the games and the points are so close together. The Jets in first place in the Central with 64 points, 7-3 in their last 10. Predators are second place with 60 points and 5-3-2 in their last 10. Avalanche are in third place with 52 points, 3-5-2 in their last 10. Stars are in fourth place, 52 points, 4-5-1 in their last 10. Wild, fifth place, 51 points, 6-4 in their last 10. Blues, sixth place, 47 points, 6-3-1 in their last 10. And in seventh place, winning today against the Capitals, 43 points, 3-4-3 in their last 10, the Chicago Blackhawks. And the final division of the Pacific, 69 points, 8-1-1 in their last 10, the Flames. Second place is 63 points, 7-3-0 in their last 10, the Sharks. Third place is Vegas, 62 points, 8-2-0 in their last 10. Fourth place is the Ducks, 51 points, 2-5-3 in their last 10. Fifth place is the Canucks, 50 points, 5-3-2 in their last 10. Oilers are in sixth place with 49 points and 5-5-0 in their last 10. Coyotes are 46 points, seventh place, 5-3-2 in their last 10. And the Kings, last place in the Pacific, last place in the league, 42 points, 4-5-1 in their last 10. And that's a wrap on the NHL standings.
That sounds interesting. All teams have their ups and downs. Obviously, the Steelers had not the Steelers, my bad. The Penguins have had their. It's been close because they're very inconsistent for me because they can go on 8-game win streak, but just have a 2-game, 3-game losing streak.
Yeah, when they lost yesterday, 7-3 to Vegas.
Vegas, yeah. So it's going to be interesting. First half is going to be closing with the All Star break. Where is that this year?
The Penguins and the Flyers each have a bye week this week. So
Okay.
they don't play at all this week, at all leading up to the break. And both those teams resume action on Monday, January 28th.
That'll be interesting to see where that will go starting the second half. New England is just kicking off with the Chiefs kicking off to New England as the Chiefs won the toss and decided to defer to the second half. Speaking of football, I don't remember. I just want to quickly go through this so we don't have to make another video about this. They probably about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, the Steelers 2019 opponents coming out. In case you guys don't know, the Steelers will be hosting, obviously, the Ravens, the Bengals, and the Browns. This year, I know the Steelers got second place, so aside from playing all the second place teams in AFC, they'll be playing the AFC East. So they'll be hosts, so that'll be the Bills, Jets, Patriots, and Dolphins. They'll be hosting the Bills and the Dolphins this year. And aside from that, on the NFC, they're playing the NFC West. So they'll be hosting the Rams and the Seahawks. Um, and the second place team, which is I think was who was second place in the South?
Second place in the South, that would be the. Would
Colts.
that be
They'll play
the Pan?
Colts.
Oh, AFC South. Yeah, that would be
That'll
Colts.
be Colts. They'll be playing the Colts. So that's who they're gonna be playing. That's who they're gonna host. And then on the road, they're going to be going to the Ravens, obviously the Bengals and the Browns. They'll be going to New England, going to the Jets, going to Arizona, going to the Niners, and the AFC West second place, which was the
Chargers.
Chargers. So they'll be going to the Chargers then, which is great
And
for a
that's
Steelers
good
fan.
for you because that's 2 close away games.
Yes, I was going to say that. We have season tickets to the Patriots, so that's a game there. And we have the Jets are just like an hour and a half away from me, so that's another game that I could easily go to.
And you know what? Since even though I'm not an Eagles fan, I do cover the Eastern Pennsylvania sports on this channel. So you know what? I'll list the Eagles opponents I have in front of my screen here. At home, they play the Washington Redskins, Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants, Detroit Lions, Chicago Bears, New England Patriots, New York Jets, and Seattle Seahawks. Uh, only 2 of those teams not from the division have a losing record: the Jets and the Lions. Because those tickets will be cheaper than the rest of them. So I will probably go to one of those games because I did go to one of the games this year. Cheaper tickets, easier to get into. And then on the road, they go to Washington, to Dallas, to New York, to Green Bay, to Minnesota, to Miami, to Buffalo, and to Atlanta.
Are they playing the NFC North this year?
NFC North, and well, I'm not playing the NFC North. I
Yeah.
am in the NFC North, but the Eagles are playing in the NFC North, and they are playing the AFC East. And among the highlights of the Eagles' schedule are Super Bowl 52 rematch the Pats at home, a trip to the Vikings where they won Super Bowl 52, the Lions' first trip to Philadelphia since the 2013 Snow Bowl, and Philadelphia's first trip to Miami and Buffalo since 2011, and an NFC wildcard rematch against the Bears at the Link. So yeah, that's all I got to say.
That'll be interesting. So now we're going to talk about what happened earlier in this game, early in the day. We had the Rams going to New Orleans here. Nick, what happened?
Okay, so here's what happened. The Saints. Here's the thing with the Saints. They have their fan base is quite electric, and you're taking on Jared Goff, a man who has never played in these types of high pressure situations, and the Saints, they take advantage of it early, and they get out to the early lead. They were up 13-0 at one point, and the Rams, right before the half, the Rams say, you know what, we need to, there's a Super Bowl berth on the line. They woke up. They said, you know what, there's a Super Bowl berth on the line. Let's get shit done. And they kicked a field goal, and then they got a touchdown, a late touchdown with Todd Gurley the third running it in from the 5-yard line. And it's 13-10 just like that. They get the ball to start the second half, and they're looking like the team that was coming out, that part of the game. They just didn't play great. But then the Saints get a touchdown. It's 20-10. I'm starting to think, might be over. The Saints might win this game. We're going to the fourth quarter, or about to go to the fourth quarter. 20-10 Saints. Rams get a touchdown, make it 20-17, and then they kick a field goal, and then overtime. Saints. Drew Brees is getting tackled. He throws the ball, a pick for the Rams. And they get down. They don't really march down the field at all. They get like 1 first down. Greg Zuerlein, who was one of the best kickers in the league, nails a 57-yard attempt. And the Rams are now headed to Atlanta, and they'll be practicing at the Falcons training facility.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for this game was how well the Rams defense has played. They stepped up in 2 big times. One, beginning of the game, forced interception, and then obviously in that overtime forced the interception to go. And the kicker did a hell of a job there. Jared Goff was 25 for 40 with 297 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 incompletion, while Drew Brees was 26 for 40, 249, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Tyson Hill, 0 for 1, but you still gotta credit that. C.J. Anderson, he was another thing that stepped up. Todd Gurley wasn't doing so well. He had 4 carries, only 10 yards. He did get 1 touchdown. But C.J. Anderson stepped up in a big way, 16 carries, 44 yards. Even though no touchdowns, still did really well in that sense. While Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram both didn't do as well as I personally thought would be. I thought that would have been a big thing that the Saints would have that the Rams would have to stop. Both Mark Ingram had 9 carries for 31 yards, as Alvin Kamara had 8 carries for 15 yards. So, slow day for them. What did you think on that blatant pass interference call? or the last play of the game?
I just don't get how. Wait, sorry, I'm just I want to do something here. All right, so I just don't get how you're the ref. How you don't get that? I mean, there was a ref right there. It was just off to the side. If you're the ref, you got to notice that. I just don't get how you don't notice that.
Yeah.
I don't really understand it. But I don't know. I mean, the refs haven't been great this year, from what I've noticed. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe because referee's not a it's not a full time job. Maybe they don't take it seriously, even though they should, because national televised games and everything. It just the refing has not been up to par this year.
Definitely. Now,
So, are you going to keep talking about this or?
yeah, I mean, there's not much really much to say in case you guys still didn't know who's who won. The Rams ended up winning, kicking a 57-yard field goal to win the game, going to Super Bowl 56, like you said.
Yeah,
We'll probably move on to the next
53.
game, 53.
53.
We're gonna move on to the New
Actually, I do
England.
want to move on to something real quick. I want to add a new segment to the podcast. Each and every week, Philadelphia, we are lucky enough to have five six. I gotta put them in now. Six Division I basketball schools in our city, within our city limits. And so, what I want to do every week is I want to cover what they did in the past week, who they played, and who they
Hmm
who they fared against. I know this is a shocker. I didn't even mention this to you, but I just want to bring it out of nowhere and bring it up. So Drexel Dragons, who are fourth in the Colonial Athletic Association right now, had two home games this week. One against Towson. They beat Towson by 6 points on Thursday, and then they beat JMU yesterday at home by 5. They play on the road against Delaware this upcoming Saturday. Penn, who at the moment is, I believe, yep, okay, so they're fifth in the Ivies. They only played one game this week at Temple. They would win that game 77-70. They had a home and home with Princeton last weekend, and they lost both games, but they did beat Temple at the Leocoris on Saturday. LaSalle, who is 10th in the Atlantic 10 right now, had two games this week. Had two home games. One against GW, which they would lose by 3 points, and another one yesterday at home versus Rhode Island, which they would lose by 11. So a rough week there for them. Then you have the Temple Owls, who are third in the American Athletic right now. They had two games this week. Sorry, they had two games this week. Temple had a home game or a road game at Eastern Carolina, which they would win by 11 points, and a home game versus Penn, which they would lose by 7. They have two games this upcoming week, one at home versus Memphis and the other at home versus Cincinnati. Villanova, the powerhouse, even though they're not technically from Philadelphia, they did play a few games in Philadelphia this week. They are first in the Big East at the moment, and they beat Villanova by 10 at the Wells Fargo Center on Friday, and they would beat Creighton on last Sunday by 12. They have two games this upcoming week, one on the road at Butler and another one at home versus Seton Hall. And then finally, St. Joe's basketball, my personal favorite, who is 12th in the Atlantic 10 right now, having a rough year for themselves, beat Davidson, one of the perennial powerhouses, this year by 1 point on Tuesday, and then would lose to St. Louis on Friday by 11. They have two games this week, one at home versus Richmond and one down at the Palestra on Saturday. So that's all I had to say, and that's all I want to say about that.
That sounds interesting. I personally think yes, the six D1 teams. I wouldn't name all six. I'd probably name like two. No,
I'll
three.
name 6 because I've been to all their arenas.
Yeah. So just quickly, we're gonna move back quickly to football. Right now, Patriots are driving right now. Tom Brady is just picking apart this Kansas City defense. They're at second and goal at like the 2 yard line of Kansas City. Who do you have the winning this game?
I have the Chiefs winning because this thing, Patriots, I get they've been to 8 straight AFC title games. But there's something about this kid that's about to apparently earn $200 million. Don't you think that he's heard these rumors? He's going to earn $200 million if he can make this team to the Super Bowl, if he can win a Super Bowl. You don't think that puts a bit more pressure on him? A bit more like, ooh, I could win $200 million. That puts him on. Tom Brady, he doesn't really care about the money. This kid, he's a kid. He wants money. Okay? That's gotta energize him. This whole team's got to be energized by finally taking down the whole. They're like the Capitals. They finally made it past the divisional round. Like, congratulations. The Chiefs are like the DC of football. They finally made it past the second round of the playoffs. And now they're at the third round, and they want to make it all the way. So, like, the Capitals, they made it past the second round. They win the third and fourth round pretty decisively, to be honest with you. The Nationals, well, they still been past the second round, so I'm not sure about them. But the Chiefs could do what the Capitals did. Win that second round, get over the hump, and now breeze through the rest of the way. Not breeze, but win decisively.
I'm gonna go New England, and I'm gonna tell you right now. Like you said, he has a $200 million contract over his head. I think that's the reason why he's gonna lose that game, this game today. I think that's gonna get it into his head too much. And they're playing New England. You have to play perfectly to beat New England, most likely. Especially you're on
The
the road.
Steelers did not play perfectly.
We played pretty goddamn well to beat the Patriots. We had one turnover, but our defense played
Perfect.
really
You
well.
don't have to play perfect. This year, in this 2018-19 year, you do not have to play perfectly to beat the Patriots. There was a time when you did have to play perfectly to beat the Patriots. This is not the time nor place.
I think Tom Brady's still a threat, and as you can see, he's just picking apart Kansas City's defense. I say Brady can get it done on the road. I don't know Super Bowl though. I don't know how that's gonna go. Um, but I think Patrick Mahomes is gonna get that $200 million in his head. I think he's gonna try to make the big plays to show off. I think that's gonna cause New England to pick him off a couple times, force some turnovers, and I think New England's gonna get this one done on the road. If the Rams can get it done on the road, I definitely think New England can.
I just don't really want to see a rematch of the 2001 Super Bowl.
Oh, I don't either. Do I want New England to win? No, obviously I want this. I want Kansas City to win. But what will happen? I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting to see who's gonna win that game.
Yes.
Speak.
So I'm gonna bring it up. I said specifically, don't bring it up. But you know what? I'm bored. I can't really think of any great content besides this past Chiefs game.
Just quickly before you go on to that, Patriots just scored a touchdown with Sonny Mitchell's.
And the Patriots score, and we're all fucked.
Sonny Mitchell's.
But anyway,
So anyways, yeah, keep on going.
So it is January 20th.
20th.
It's January 20th. What a great day to be alive, right? Well, maybe not the Patriots will, but it's January 20th, which means in 33 days, approximately 33 days, hopefully 33 days, Millan will be in the city of the brotherly love for the first time in the history of this man's life. You've probably been here before.
I have been here before,
Not
yes.
the way I'm going to show it to him, because the way I show it to him is totally different from the cliches. You already know what I mean.
And Gostowski just made the extra point. 7-0. Back to you.
Yes. So Millan is going to try to get down here. We found it train online because research. So if the deal goes through, if the deal gets finalized, as I say, if the deal gets finalized, there is a rough plan of how it will go. Millan's train will get in approximately 12:10, right? 12:10?
12-10. Yep.
Yeah. So again, approximately 12:10. Train station's not too far from here, so I can just go. I'll probably just walk there and then take a car back, like an Uber or something. But do that, then me and him would actually, the second he drops his bags off, we go right down to the Wells Fargo Center, where the Philadelphia 76ers are taking on the Portland Trailblazers. There's multiple college basketball games on February 23rd, but we already had tickets to the game against Portland in really nice seats. So we decided, hey, let's do it. But then I thought about it, thinking, hey, triple header's a possibility. It's a possibility.
That would have been really cool. That would be really cool.
It would be really cool. Drexel plays at 5, for all you wondering what would be the third game. Penn plays at 7, so that's not really possible. Temple plays at 12, so that's not really possible.
I think it also goes down to how early do we want to get to the link.
Yeah, how early do we want to get there? I mean, we'll be there. The Sixers game will be dropping out, or I guess ending around 3:30.
Yeah, just like going for the Drexel game because it ends at, you said it ends at 7.
Yeah, the Drexel game went like 7, which would be maybe sort of perfect. It depends though, because getting down there is gonna be a shit show.
Yeah.
So it almost like you'd want to leave early, or not. You just want to not avoid the Drexel game and just come right back here and then go like right back down like an hour later, because it's gonna be a total shit show down there, and I want to avoid all.
I just want to give you just talk about one quick thing here about the New England game. It is 6:50 left to go in the first quarter, and Patrick Mahomes has not had one snap yet. That just shows Brady spent all of like 7 minutes going down there for one touchdown. So
that's just professionalism right there. You get all the way. You learn that over time.
Yeah, but that's impressive, especially in this day and age. So Patrick Mahomes will get the ball right now. But anyways, yeah. So I'm gonna try to get the train down, spend the night there, watch the Penguins beat up on some old rivals, and we'll see what happens. That'll be fun, especially going down to Philly. I'm a little nervous. I don't want to get beat up. Like,
That's why it's me. I'm protection, man. But I mean, he's gonna take his first subway ride in Philly.
yes, I have not done that. That's one thing I have not done.
Yeah, I mean that's an experience right there, man. I mean,
That is an experience.
a homeless lady called me diseased while I was on the train. So I mean, on the subway, and there's a lot of cool homeless dancers that are actually pretty professional. They're pretty good at dancing, and they're actually homeless. I'm not just saying homeless. They actually are. They have signs and everything. They're actually quite good at it. So I usually give them $1, but they're pretty good at it. They might be looking for drugs, but they're pretty good at it. But point is,
We're
yeah,
gonna probably make a vlog too. We're probably gonna vlog this.
we're gonna do like two, like on his way to Philly
So
on his train ride.
I'll vlog myself going down to Philly. You vlog yourself, whatever you're doing while I'm in the train. We'll combine those videos.
Well, I'm not gonna vlog myself sleeping. I'm not.
Well, not when you're sleeping. Just like when you get up, just tell everyone you're going down to the station.
Your train comes in at 12:10. I mean, I means I have to start walking over around 11:30 because I'm probably gonna walk there. Because I mean, it'll be cold.
How long does it take to walk there?
30 minutes, but I'll drive you back. I'll get you like an Uber or something.
Okay, and then
Your bags. Some homeless people take that. I need to make sure protection. But I can't. I gotta protect my guests right now.
Yep. So yeah, you can vlog yourself walking down, just quickly saying what you're doing. We'll combine those videos, and then I'll go from there, vlogging when we meet up, and we'll talk about what we're gonna be doing, and having fun because this should be a fun day.
It should be. Yes. It should be.
Definitely fun. Going back to the NFL now, because we don't have a lot of content really to talk about. This was not a well put together podcast. We just like, hey, let's make a podcast. So Kansas City is hosting the New England Patriots. Obviously, it's arguably one of the loudest stadiums in the NFL. Who do you think would be the loudest stadiums in the NFL? Let's go top three.
Top three, probably Kansas City. No, not specific order. Kansas City, Seattle, and Philly.
Philly loud? I don't know Philly.
Philly's pretty loud, dude. Like third down and shit, it gets loud. Here's the thing: I exclude all domes because that's like an unfair advantage. Like, dude, your noise is all trapped in.
Yeah,
it's
I don't.
way more impressive when a Kansas City, a Seattle, a Green Bay, a Pittsburgh, a Philly, open air.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like cars and shit, and they're still making more noise than New Orleans and
Yep,
Atlanta.
definitely. Because I don't have. I mean, I could put New Orleans in there, but they're a dome, so I don't really put them in there. I have, again, Kansas City, Seattle, and I have Green Bay in there. I think Green Bay can get pretty loud. Pittsburgh can get pretty loud too, but I think Green Bay is constantly louder than Pittsburgh.
Oh, definitely, and New England can get pretty loud.
Yep, I've been to loud New England games. That can get really loud.
Pittsburgh really does get loud. I've noticed it, but honestly, we're talking about. I mean, there's some great NFL atmospheres there.
Mm-hmm.
But the college atmospheres are
so much better. I love college atmospheres, especially when it's a good game.
Yeah, like in this upcoming September, my birthday is about 5 days before Penn State goes down to Maryland. Maryland's way closer than Penn State. Not much closer, about an hour and a half closer to me. So it's actually perfect. It's a Friday night game and everything, and it's down there at Capital One field. Yeah, they have a Capital One arena and a Capital One field with like 25 minutes in each other, whatever. So I'm gonna try to actually do that because that'll be a new college atmosphere for me. What I hate is like when teams like Pitt and Temple playing the pro stadiums. Like, dude, get your own stadium. It's not that complicated.
It could be money though. That's the only problem.
Pitt had a stadium though. Pitt had a stadium. They knocked it down. That's on Pitt.
Which the Three Rivers?
No, they had an alumni stadium. Something like Pitt. The University had a stadium on campus.
Yeah, I mean they have their own basketball too, so at least they don't play in the Penguins arena.
They don't like I think they play like the big games there. I know Duquesne and Pitt play a game there. The two Pittsburgh schools. But I want to actually cover something here. So, the best thing about college basketball, to be fair, is the conference and the conference tournament and March Madness.
Mm-hmm.
The two tournaments are awesome. They're like the best month of the year right there for the college basketball fan. So this year, I see some basic teams that could really, I think, so first what I'm trying to say is, who I think are the teams that are the possibility of getting a 1 seed. I think it's down to Tennessee, Michigan, Duke, and maybe Virginia if they can if they can beat another big opponent. Nova, Gonzaga,
Kansas,
and
in the Kansas.
maybe Texas Tech and Kansas.
You think all these teams?
Well, actually, Kansas has had a rough year. Kansas, they just lost to West Virginia on the road. I think they lost to someone else, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't like Texas Tech. I don't like them getting the 1 seed. High seed definitely, 1 seed no. Who'd you say? You said Gonzaga. I could see that.
I saw,
Virginia,
yeah, Gonzaga's
Duke definitely. No, North Carolina.
North Carolina's not been the greatest year. They got destroyed to Louisville at home.
Yeah.
Kansas lost to. They also lost to Iowa State. Kansas lost to
Yep.
your Iowa State boys.
Yep. And Texas Tech also lost to Iowa State. Only losses in the conference play. I think Iowa State is now number 1 in the Big 12.
It's possible. It's possible.
They were ranked 20th, but then they lost 2 straight games to Kansas State and someone else. But
no, Kansas is still atop the league.
are they?
Yeah, Kansas, Iowa State, Texas Tech, and Kansas State are all tied.
Tomorrow, Iowa State goes to Kansas, so that'll be a great game to see. Iowa State already beat Kansas, though, in Ames, so it'll be interesting to see in Allen Fieldhouse what Iowa State can do. That's a good team to watch. I don't know if you've seen Iowa State at all. That's a fun, really young team to watch.
I'll check them out, man. I mean, I've been watching a lot of college basketball.
Me too.
And the conference that I really like, that's always underrated, I don't really know why, because it's one of the power conferences, and it is a good conference. That's the Big East.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Long time ago, like 10, 20 years ago, Big East was dominant. Was the dominant power.
Well, I mean, yeah, in the 80s, when it was created in like 77 or 78. And the 80s, they just dominated.
Yeah.
Dominated the 80s. And then in the 90s, football becomes the big thing, and they start to die off. They start to die off in the late 90s. The late 90s, early 2000s, they start to die off. And then a few years ago, when the American Athletic and the Big East did their little, whatever the fuck it's called thing, the Big East became all the Catholic schools, and now they're dominant again. You got Villanova, who's 14-4. Marquette 16-3. Butler is 12-7. Xavier's 11-8.
I've always thought Big East was a good school, a good powerhouse school for basketball.
I mean, there is literally not a single team under 500 in this conference.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dominant conference, and I have a Big East team that plays down at the Wells Fargo Center, and I will probably try to get down there because it's the Big East basketball is fun. It's good stuff.
It is fun. I've never really thought of the Big East as a really bad.
No, I'm not saying people think of it as bad conference. People underrate them. They don't really think of it
as a good yeah, because everyone thinks it's ACC and all that stuff. How about this? We'll get something to talk about right now. When you think of, we'll go by college sports. So we're gonna go college basketball, college women's college basketball, and college football. What are the best conferences? And we'll start with college football. What is the best conference for college football?
The best conference in college football. Oh my! It's dominated by 2 teams. But I'm going to say it's the Big Ten.
Really?
Yeah, but you know the other one is. I'm not going to say.
I'm going to go SEC.
Yeah, that's good.
SEC, I think, is... I mean, the Big Ten, you only got Ohio State and Michigan. And that's it.
Okay. Here's
the thing. And Penn State, my bad. Penn State.
Here's the thing. The SEC, without Bama, is nothing. It's not... I mean, Georgia's good, but Georgia didn't even make the playoffs this year. Georgia made the playoffs this year. Should they have? Yes. I still don't think Notre Dame should be allowed in the playoffs until they join the fucking ACC. Join the damn conference. You're in it for every other. Join the damn conference. They won't do it, though. It's actually starting to really annoy me. I want them to just join the conference. But the Big Ten, here's the thing about Big Ten. Ohio State, you got Michigan, you got Penn State, and you got Michigan State.
Michigan State now.
In the West, you got Wisconsin, who had a down year this year, but is usually pretty dominant.
Northwestern's pretty good. I think Northwestern's pretty good.
Iowa.
Northwestern.
Yeah. And Purdue. That's 8 out of your 14 members who are dominant.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you said take out Alabama. Arkansas, arguably. Auburn, pretty good. Georgia. Ole Miss can...
You take out Bama, you have LSU, Texas A&M, Georgia,
Tennessee,
Florida.
Ole Miss.
No, Ole Miss had a bad year this year.
This year, yeah. But they don't know.
5-7, and they went 1-7 in the conference. And Arkansas went 0-8 in the conference, 2-10 overall.
Pac-12 is also pretty good, with both Washington teams.
The Pac-12 is pretty good, but again, they just don't ever get anybody in the Big the big thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
You got Washington State, you got USC usually, Utah usually is a decent program. Stanford's got a good program, but this was not their year. You know what I mean?
What about, we're going to move on to basketball. What do you think about basketball best conference? I already have mine. What do you think it is?
Oh, what's yours? Because I got to think about this. I got to find some standings.
But I'm going to go Big 12. I
Really?
know Big 12 because in the past 8 or so years, every single Big 12 team has made the tournament and has gotten past the first round, past it straight. So that has to say something. And there's no really bad teams in these divisions. We could see
There's no
one
bad team in the Big 12. Whoa, you owned this. There's no bad team in the Big 12.
last year. Every single team has made it in the past 9 years in the tournament.
Okay. What if like? Are you telling me that Oklahoma? I mean, okay, Oklahoma has a good program, but without their superstar players, they really don't have a good team. TCU, I don't remember the last time TCU had a good team.
Made it last year, but they made it
They made
past
the
first.
tournament, but I don't remember this. I don't remember they had a good team.
Did ever made they 2 years ago they almost won the whole thing, the whole Big 12 tournament.
Oh, Big 12. Oh, congratulations! You almost won your fucking conference. Like, dude, that's nothing.
I don't
What have they
know.
done on the national scale? That I should be impressed. Like, I don't really.
I think the farthest they've made was in the past couple of years
I see
would be
Kansas and I see West Virginia that are right now on two opposite ends of the conference. But I
impressive.
know Kansas is a dominant basketball powerhouse. West Virginia's usually got a good program. Even though I said Oklahoma's having a bad year this year, but actually usually they do have a decent program.
No man.
Um,
Iowa State has always had a really good
Iowa
program.
State is a good program. Texas Tech always is a good program.
Definitely.
Uh,
West Virginia is always good. By the way, New England's in the red
Virginia's
zone
always good.
again.
Having a bad year though.
Yeah, West Virginia is always good with that 1-3-1, the press, everything right there is going. Um, by the way, New England has forced Kansas City to a punt, and they punted terribly. And New England's driving now inside the 5. First and goal inside the 5. So Brady's looking pretty dominant. He's throwing to Edelman. Him and Edelman have been connected on so many levels, and it's going to the end of the first quarter with New England on top 7-0. But yeah, going back.
For me, it comes down to two conferences. It comes down to two conferences for me. The ACC, I think, has to be up there. Because the ACC, they have a few of those teams that aren't always good, but they have their powerhouses that dominate. And the Big East. The Big East is smaller than the rest of these conferences, by far, because they don't play football. But the ACC, the Big East has Nova, who has won 2 out of the last 3 national championships. I don't know what's going on here, but I can't see your face anymore. But Villanova's
Your pause. There we go.
There we go. Villanova's won 2 of the last 3 conference championships. Marquette, who's having a great year and always has a good program. Butler, who won the national title 2011.
Butler won 2011, was it? I think so.
About in there. Xavier always has a good program. I think made Elite 8 or Final 4 a few years ago. DePaul having a decent year actually for the first time in a while. Has been miserable the last few years though. I admit DePaul is their weakness. Seton Hall has made it to the tournament the last 4 years.
Seton Hall, yeah.
St. John's back at it, back better than ever. Georgetown.
I think they're really underrated, St. John's. I honestly do.
I've seen St. John's and I'm not impressed. Georgetown, I'll admit they haven't had a great team in a very long time since the AI years. Creighton, who has been a dominant powerhouse for a while, is having a rough year this year. And Providence, who's been pretty decent. So the Big East, I think it's really hard to say the Big East isn't the best conference in the country.
I can give you that. I mean, you could argue that. All these
and
teams.
The ACC is a bit hard to argue because there's so many more teams.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. ACC is pretty good, obviously, because you have all the good players.
I think it's the Big East. I think it's the Big East.
Yeah, Duke, Florida State's been pretty good this year for basketball. Louisville's always pretty strong.
Yeah, Florida State is 1-4 in the conference.
In the conference, but aren't they? They're like ranked.
They had a good year otherwise, but
yeah, other than that, they're pretty ranked. Pitt always starts off the year strong and just goes down from there.
Syracuse always has a good program with Boeheim.
Yeah, definitely. Syracuse always make the tournament.
Yeah, they always do. They made it last year. They sneaked in, and I think they ended up going to the Sweet 16, Elite 8.
Something like that, yeah. Okay, we're gonna start with any division. Doesn't matter. What is your favorite nickname for basketball?
My favorite nickname. You mean my favorite team's nickname?
Just your favorite nickname in basketball. Doesn't in the NCAA. Doesn't matter what division, how small they are. In the that's Division One, obviously. Sorry, in like whatever conference. What is your favorite division nickname? Sorry.
The St. Louis Billikens out of my favorite conference, the Atlantic 10. The Billiken, no one really knows what it is. I think it's like some doll or some mythical creature that like haunts the campus or something. And I just always found it, like so funny because then you look at the little their logo and it's like the cutest little thing. It looks like a little like I don't even know what it is, but it looks like the cutest little thing. But apparently it's like the thing
What
that
is
haunts
it?
their
Sorry,
campus.
say again.
The St.
Billikens.
Louis Billikens.
Yes, I do see that.
It's like the thing that haunts their campus, and they're the best team in the A10 this year, 11-0, and they beat my Hawks not too long just this past Friday. But the A10 is my favorite conference, and the Billikens got the best name in the conference.
Hey, that's. I mean, I can go with that. I'm gonna go with Purdue Boilermakers. This has a cool ring to it. I just like the Boilermakers. That just sounds really cool, in my opinion. But then
Okay,
you got
yeah.
like Holy Cross Crusaders and
Okay, that's
Razorbacks,
pretty
pretty
good too.
cool.
Who is your favorite team? Favorite team, and it can be for any reason that doesn't play in the ACC, Big East, Big 12, Pac 12, Big 10. I feel like American Athletic. Um, Big 10. Is that the major? That's all the major ones,
So
right?
this is all the major teams.
So, besides all the major teams, take all
Hold
the
up,
major teams
hold
out of
up.
it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, keep on going, and I'll give you the newest update.
So take all the major teams out of it, and who is your favorite team out of
Okay.
all the major teams? Getting rid of all the major teams, not including.
Okay. Sorry for you guys, technical difficulties. You were frozen, Nick. It doesn't matter. At least we can hear your voice. Um, by the way, New England's driving down at the 1 yard line, and Nick, can you give me an idea what just happened?
For what, Duke or for what?
No, sorry. New England's
Patriots?
driving down at the 1 yard line, fake handoff, and Brady throws an interception. So the Kansas City will get the ball back. But yes, going back to your thing, who is my favorite team?
Non-power teams.
Non-power teams, definitely. I don't know. I'm just looking at the teams now. I like Loyola Chicago just because what happened last year. Uh, or I don't know, Manhattan Jaspers. That's a kind of a cool name. From the MMAC. Um, I don't know. There's a lot of good ones here. Boise State, Central Connecticut Blue Devils. That's where I'm gonna go.
Nice.
Central Connecticut
Oh
Blue
yeah, I got a
Devils.
few. I got a few I like. One, I like Grand Canyon, one of the newer Division One members. I think he just joined Division One a few years ago. Grand Canyon Antelopes have now built a pretty good program out there in the West Coast Athletic Association. Not the same one as Gonzaga, it's a different one. But Grand Canyon, very good program. Obviously, I like my St. Joe's Hawks Atlantic 10 conference, my favorite conference. I like them a lot. I like a lot of teams in that conference, to be honest with you. And I also like Penn, Ivy Leagues. I got my Ivy League. I love the Ivy League. People really underestimate it. I love the Ivy League. I think if Penn's not in the Ivy League, they're probably ranked right now. Well, maybe not right now because they lost a lot of games they shouldn't have lost. But before that Monmouth loss, before that Toledo loss, I think that team is probably ranked.
Definitely.
So yeah, I like Penn too.
So
Because I mean, and the Flusher is just a beautiful building.
yeah, definitely. Just for you guys that you were watching, we apologize. Poor connection. We need to find like a good way to tape this, and probably edit it too. Um, Better software than we have now, which I do not know. If you have any ideas, please tell us. Nick, can you try pausing and unpausing yourself to see if that does anything?
And
Yeah, no, doesn't do anything. It doesn't matter. At least we can hear your voice. We do apologize for that. But we're trying to kill the time here. Anything else we want to talk about here?
okay. Oh yeah. So I want to talk about. So this is something we were gonna do last night, and I want to talk about dream baseball team
Yeah,
position. Dream baseball team. We were gonna do this last night, and we didn't do it. I said, hey, let's save it for the podcast tomorrow.
yeah.
Dream baseball team.
So
Pick
who
like
would you? So are you
anybody from all time? Dream baseball team.
all time? Okay. I was gonna
All
do
time. It can be
present.
anybody. It doesn't have to be now. It can be all time.
Yesterday. Okay, yesterday I was gonna do present.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, just to make it easier because there's so many to choose from. But we can go all time. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, see, I want to do all
All time.
time.
Okay, let's see what you got.
So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna change. So how do you want to do this? How many pitchers do we get and all that?
We'll get one starter, one reliever, one closer.
Okay, okay. I'm chill with that. I gotta look at the pitchers here. So for the pitchers, I think my starter. I'm not gonna go with Cy Young because that just seems a little obvious. I think my starter's gonna be Sandy Koufax. I think he's gonna go out there, the lefty. He's gonna go out there and start. Um, my my reliever will be Randy Johnson. All right, was Randy Johnson a starter?
Yeah, he was.
Okay, never mind. Then. Randy Johnson will not be relieving. My closer will obviously be Mariano Rivera, and my reliever. I'm actually sure. I'm actually not sure who my reliever's gonna be. I'm actually not sure my reliever's gonna be. We're not gonna really do the reliever.
So just starter and closer.
Sandy Koufax came from a time where those guys pitched 8 innings, 9 innings. So he's gonna play 8 innings of ball. Who are your pitchers?
Okay, you're gonna like. I was debating, but you're gonna like what my pitcher is gonna be. I'm gonna start with Roy Halladay.
Nice.
I really like what he was in his prime. I like him. I really do. Even though I'm not a Philly fan, he was great. By the way, the Chiefs, New England forced the flying out after the interception. But yeah, I like Roy Halladay. He's many perfect games. He's reliable. He was reliable in the playoffs, just as he was in the regular season. So he's what I have. And then closer, obviously, yeah, Mariano Rivera, one of the arguably the greatest of all time, greatest closer of all time. So that's who I'll have.
Okay. My starting catcher, the guy behind the plate, will be Johnny Bench.
Johnny Bench.
That's pretty obvious.
I can give you Johnny Bench. I'm gonna go with a guy right now. I like Yadier Molina. I know he's on the Cardinals, but he gets the little things done really well. He can field his position. He can block well, and he can hit for power and for contact. So I really like Yadier Molina.
Yeah, him and Chris Bryant were throwing some words at each other. Chris Bryant calling St. Louis a lame, boring city to play in, and Yachty defending the city of St. Louis.
Definitely. First baseman?
First baseman, I'm going to go with Albert Pujols. I get it. That big contract has kind of tarnished his legacy, but look at his numbers back in St. Louis. They were amazing. And I think I like Pujols as a player. He's starting to turn around a bit here with his contract. But I could also go with Ryan Howard. He's also another good one. But I'm going to go with Albert Pujols.
Yeah, Pujols in his prime, definitely. He was he wasn't a force to be reckoned with. He was insane. He's definitely a Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer. So he's definitely going to be the guy who I have going.
Yeah. Second base is going to be Joe Morgan for me. I find that to be another easy one. Played for the Reds, the Big Red Machine, and I think later played for the Astros. But again, Joe Morgan, that's an obvious one.
Second base is going to be Jose Altuve. I love Altuve. He's a small guy. He can hit for power. He has a huge range. I don't know about the arm strength, but if he would fit right in with the shortstop position just because of how much ground he can cover, and his height doesn't affect how he plays. So I love Jose Altuve in this one.
Next one, third base, because shortstop goes after third base.
Yeah.
Third base goes first. Third base, it's so obvious. From Philadelphia, Mike Schmidt, Mike Jackson, the Michael Jack Schmidt. Awesome, easy, obvious.
Wow, interesting. Third base for me, I don't know. This is one guy I've always loved, and he's not very good anymore. But I like Panda, Pablo Sandoval. He's a guy who's always puts a smile on my face whenever I've seen him play, and I've seen him play a lot. So he is a guy that I'm gonna have in my third base.
Okay. For my pure disdain of Derek Jeter, who will not be my shortstop, I'm gonna go with Honus Wagner.
Honus Wagner, yeah.
Find to be an easy one.
Okay, I'm not gonna go with Honus Wagner, and I'm gonna go who you said you didn't want as your shortstop. I love Jeter. I know if you're a Red Sox fan and you're watching this, and you probably hate Jeter, and you have a reason to because he's on the Yankees. But you gotta respect Jeter for what he did for the game. Not what he's doing now. I don't necessarily agree with what he's doing now as management, but what he did for the game and what he did to the game. He brought baseball to another level. The Yankees, when they had Jeter, Cano, Teixeira, and A-Rod, that was probably arguably one of the best infield of all time. I love Jeter. I love what he's done. He has a huge history. I'm going to go with Jeter.
Right field. This is a tough one. This is right fielder. You got Babe Ruth. You got Roberto Clemente. You got Hank Aaron. You got Ichiro. But I'm gonna go with Ichiro. Yeah, you know what? I need a speedy guy to lead me off. I'm gonna go with Ichiro, but it was a tough one. It could have easily been Hank Aaron, to be honest with you, and it could have been Roberto Clemente, and it could have been Babe Ruth. But I'm gonna go with Ichiro.
Yeah, I mean Babe Ruth, he was a pitcher too, so you could have had him as a pitcher. But yeah, I like Roberto Clemente. He's a homeboy for me. He did a lot of good in his days. I know I'd love Ichiro. He was one of my favorite players before I met Edu McCutcheon. But he's definitely gonna be a guy that I want in right field.
Yeah. Okay. For center fielders, I'm gonna go with. Because I don't want two giants in the outfield. I'm gonna go with Mike Trout.
Mike
Another,
Chat.
another present guy.
Okay.
I don't even need to look at left fielders because I know.
Right field, center field for me. Sorry, I'm gonna have my favorite MLB player. Who do you think it's gonna be? Ooh, okay. Andrew McCutcheon. Yes, I still have respect for him, even though he's on the shitty Philadelphia Phillies.
Hey, so can I buy you a Phillies jersey with McCutcheon?
I will burn it to hell.
McCutcheon jersey though.
No, I don't care. He's still my favorite.
Giants jersey. Can I buy you a Giants jersey? Number. We're gonna do names.
Probably. I mean, I probably wouldn't really wear it.
Left field, not even debate. Barry Bonds, best baseball player of all time. We're gonna talk about this right after because I need you to know this right now.
Yeah, Barry Bonds is also a good but I'm just gonna change it just to make it more interesting. I'm gonna keep this a present day player. I'm gonna give it to Andrew Benintendi. I love his swing. Benintendi. He has one of the best swings in baseball right now, and he can play the position well, especially since he has to face the monster. He's adapted well to Fenway, and he doesn't let that monster get in the way of his playing style. So I love Benny. Great player on the Red Sox, and that's what I'm gonna have in my left field. I'm gonna go DH.
Oh, you really want to do DH? Okay, Big Poppy.
Yeah, I think that'd be obvious. But, I mean, I know this guy wasn't a DH, but I'd have Babe Ruth.
What? You'd have who?
Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
First baseman, I could have also gone Jackie Robinson because he did play first base for a little bit.
And I could have went Ryan Howard. He played first base, and he did play DH when we played American League teams.
Yeah. So then you wanted to go talk about Barry Bonds. Nick, yesterday, he Snapchatted me randomly asking if Barry Bonds was the best player of all time. Me not really giving a crap because I was in the middle of touching myself. No, I was joking. No, I wasn't doing that. Sorry, I probably shouldn't have said that. I was in the middle. I don't even know. I was probably doing homework. Something. I was at school, something like that. I wasn't really paying attention. But he asked me if Babe Ruth was the best. Not Babe Ruth. If Barry Bonds was the best of all time. I said sure. Nick, let's hear your arguments.
Actually, you did not say sure. You said debatable.
I said debatable.
You gave me a list of people. You started just naming random people. I think you named. Okay, you named. Well, what's his name? Ted Williams, who is the only guy that's even close to Barry Bonds for best hitter of all time. Not best player. Sorry, I shouldn't have said best player. I was talking about best hitter.
So are we talking pre-Royd or what are we doing?
Yeah, mostly talking pre-Royd, which is 86 to 2000.
Yeah, post-Royd definitely. I'd give it to him.
Oh, post-Royd, close. It's not even close. But obviously, the only reason he went on roids is because, well, I mean, everybody was on roids. I mean, even Ken Griffey Jr. was probably on roids.
Mm-hmm.
He probably just did a roid that wasn't findable in the test or was considered illegal at the time.
By the way, just quick going back to New England's game. New England has 146, now adding to 152 yards.
Oh, I'm finally getting an update saying Tom Brady picked up the goal line. Pretty sure it happened like 2 drives ago.
Wow, Kansas City has -2 total yards. So this is a one-sided affair, and it's only 7-0. So credit to the Kansas City's defense for standing up. Anyways, keep on going.
I'm getting an NBC alert that there's some super wolf blood moon thing. I don't care.
Yeah, I think that's a beer.
Point is, okay, so Barry Bonds best hitter of all time. Because I think Ted Williams the only one that comes close. Here's the ones I heard yesterday. Tony Gwynn, no. He doesn't have the power.
No, yeah. Gwynn was good. Let's not give that, but power-wise, no.
I'm not saying Gwynn wasn't good, but he doesn't have nearly the power of Barry Bonds. Gwynn hit 122 home runs, I think it was in his whole career. He had a great average, and he was a good hitter.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. For Bonds, you could name him as who do you want to hit a home run at the bottom of the ninth, and you can also name him as who do you want to get on base for you in the bottom of the ninth. Like, he was such a versatile player, contact, power, he had everything. Tony Gwynn was very contact only. So Tony Gwynn definitely not. I heard that one like, okay.
I think the most consistent person to hit it over the wall in San Francisco is Barry Bonds. I don't think I've seen anyone get
And
it higher and farther.
I didn't even mention this. Candlestick had some of the craziest dimensions because it was a football stadium.
Yeah, definitely.
So I
And
mean, it was not a hitter's park by any means, and he did end up playing at AT&T when
yeah,
it finally came out, but not for his first 7 or 8 years there. He played in Candlestick with some terrible winds, as Willie Mays would tell you. The wind's always
oh yeah,
coming
definitely.
into against the ball, so it's even harder to hit a home run there. And Barry Bonds still hit home runs there. It was then everything was against him in that stadium.
And he still managed to hit the crap out of the ball.
Yeah, he still managed to destroy it. And then he's at AT&T Park, which is a bit nicer, but not. He was a right-handed hitter, I believe.
No, he was lefty. But Bonds?
He was lefty. That's what I meant to say. Sorry. So if you wanted to pull the ball, it'd be a bit harder because there's a high fence there. But hey, if you wanted to go off Otako, it would still be hard because it's pretty deep there, but it's a much shorter fence. So.
Definitely. Dude, that'd be really cool and interesting to see if Bonds was that powerful without roids. Imagine what would happen if he took roids. You know what I mean? Is that?
You mean if he took roids his first 15 years or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, he would have broke that home run record years before he did.
Yeah.
That's the thing when people say he did roids before he did roids, no, he didn't. Dude, he would have broke that home run record tons before. He would have broke that home record in 19 he might have broken when it was the Pirates. For God's sakes, if he was using roids his whole career, and that's how we know he wasn't because he finally hit 73. It was like, okay, yeah, he's definitely on something. There's no way he's. I mean, at the time we're not saying that, but then you look back at it and you just see a dramatic increase by 15 home runs. Okay, there was something there.
Yeah. Do you think Bonds should be in?
Oh, he should be in. He should be in.
Yeah, I think he should be.
I think he's gonna get in.
Yeah.
He's at 75% right now.
Yeah, he definitely should get in.
Him and Clemens are both probably gonna get in. Hey, Mr. October, Reggie Jackson, he said he wants him in too. I mean, there's a lot of people that want him in.
Mhm.
It's like 70-30 split.
I'm just waiting until Jeter gets in.
Heavily favored.
Yeah, definitely. Oh God, what else should we talk about? We have a couple more minutes. We could probably fill the time with.
Yeah. Jeez.
I personally don't have anything. I don't know if you do.
I had something, but I kind of forgot.
We can wrap it up here.
Yeah,
Nick, Nick does not have school tomorrow due to MLK Day. That's not the same case for me. Nick, you can always do a solo video on something if it comes up.
Sure. I tried that though. It didn't upload. I had a fun video guys for you. It was like almost 50 minutes long. It was fun.
Yeah, but somehow he can't upload it. But we will see what happens. Definitely next week we could talk Pro Bowl and Super Bowl matchup. Nick, if you want, you can talk about the recap of this game, of the Patriots game tomorrow.
Yeah, and NHL, guys, NHL All-Star game this upcoming weekend.
We're gonna make.
So we got a lot of action.
And when we know for sure if I can come or not, if I can come, we'll give you a whole separate video on what the final layout is gonna be. This is what we're thinking. We haven't finalized everything, but we're gonna finalize everything for you if I can come. Hopefully I can. That'd be great. We can get a first combined video together, and we need new equipment because to be honest, this equipment just sucks. So
yeah, it's pretty crappy.
But this is a good way to start off, and hopefully, if we get more subscribers, which I hope we do, we can go from there and get better equipment. But right now, yeah, Kansas City now gets the ball back, only running 8 plays. New England 34. New England has 155 yards total, while Kansas City has -2. So it'll be interesting to see how that game goes out.
Hopefully we get new subscribers, because apparently Millan thinks that Barstool Sports knows about us. I don't know why he would even think that.
You said something about.
Apparently he thinks Barstool.
You said you were like viral or something like that, and then you said something about.
That was different. That was not on Barstool.
And then you said something about Barstool Sports, and I thought that you meant like.
I always talk about Barstool, so it's definitely not about Barstool.
So I don't know. We need new subscribers, so.
Hashtag Portnoy for president.
Please.
Actually, hashtag Smitty for president.
Okay. So please, give us. Please subscribe. Please share it, and we'll get back to you guys next Sunday for another podcast, and Nick probably tomorrow. See you guys.
Right,